Hello, in this video we're just going to be reviewing the 10-week mass building program for muscle and strength. This might seem like a bit of a random choice for me to review, but it's basically the first thing that comes up. If you type in free bodybuilding program into Google and then go to the first result, this is the first result there. So this program is a 4-day-a-week program supposed to have all equipment available, and it doesn't say, it says training level advanced, but let's be honest, this is going to be run by basically anyone because it's the first thing that comes up. And if you're advanced, you're not just running some random program you found on a front page of Muscle and Fitness or Muscle and Strength. So yeah, it says advanced, but we're probably going to treat it more as if it's for beginners. So if we have a look here, it says program duration 10 weeks, which is kind of a bit random. I'm not sure why it's 10 weeks. It doesn't seem to have any peaking or anything. Target gender male, I suppose, yeah, but sure. Pretty much all of these splits will be. Recommended supplements. Yeah, I guess they're just kind of touching their bases here. Whey protein, sure. Creatine definitely works, so no debate there. Essential fats, I'm not sure what they mean by that. I guess just eat your fats. Multivitamin, yeah, I guess you can, and then weight gain optional. So it's basically just covering their base on standard workout supplements. So it says here, I'll just quickly read it to you. It's designed to increase your muscle mass as much as possible in 10 weeks. Works at each muscle group hard once a week, which is, yeah, we'll kind of talk about why that might not be optimal. And then using heavy compound exercise, which is good. 4-day-a-week split, resting on Wednesday and the weekends. To get the most out of this program, you need to be eating big meals at least 5 times a day. That's not true. You can eat medium-sized meals 7 times a day, or you can eat 3 times a day. It probably doesn't make that much of a difference. There might be a slight benefit to protein synthesis by eating more often per day, but you don't need to eat 5 times a day. 4 would probably be fine, for example. Okay, well, let's just dive into it. So Monday, chest and triceps. We start with barbell bench press, which I think is a perfect way to start a push day or a chest and tricep day in this case. So no problem there. Start your day with your compounds, makes sense. We've got 4 sets, which is not a bad amount of sets. I think sort of anywhere between 2 to 6 is going to tend to be fine based on how your program's looking. Any less than 2, and it's like, well, you spend a lot of time warming up for a compound to do only 1 set. Excuse me. I mean, anything more than 6, you're kind of like, you're pretty dead after your compound. So we have 4 sets, that's fine. The reps here, though, are really weird. The reps are like hyper-specific. So typically you might have a rep range or static reps. So you might say, 3 sets of 5, or you might say 3 sets of 5 to 10. Both of those work, and I think probably the rep range is better. But this one is very odd. It's assigning you specific reps for each set. So it's 10, 8, 8, 6. And you're like, well, what's the problem with that? The problem is that you might not actually fatigue at that pace. So as an example, you might get 10 on your first set, and some people, they may well be able to get 9 on the next set, or even 10 again. Or they might be very fatigued and get like 5, or 6 or something. And so you have to, it's very odd because this means that basically, unless you fatigue in exactly this way, 10, 8, 8, 6, some of these sets are going to be at very different intensity ranges. Because maybe, if say you fatigue faster, for example, your first set's going to be quite easy, or moderate 10, and then they're going to demand 8 when you actually only wanted to do 6, and so it's going to be really hard. Or say you fatigue slowly, say you do 10, and you could do 9, but they make you do 8, so it brought your intensity down. And it's odd, because why would you fatigue at, like why do you get the same amount of reps twice and then suddenly drop down 2 again? It's very odd. Basically, this is just a bad way of programming reps. Don't program specific reps for each set, just give a rep range and let people fall where they fall. But exercise selection is good, starting with barbell bench, nothing wrong with that. We move to an incline bench, which is fine, another compound. It's kind of doing a very similar thing, but sure, it's hitting it from a slightly different way. 3 sets, once again, we've got the specific reps. I'll stop talking about that, just know that all of these have specific reps and it's a bit goofy. But the amount of reps is good, 8 reps to 6. Well, I'm just going to call them a rep range. I'm just going to call it 8 to 6. 8 to 6 is a good amount of reps for a compound like that. So for 3 sets of incline bench. So far, so good. But note that we are 7 sets deep into compounds. So we've done 7 sets of compounds now. And now we move to a decline bench. This is another compound for the chest in a very similar pattern. A decline bench hits the chest very, very similar to a flat bench. Pretty much the same muscle activation, just from a slightly different angle. So now we are, 10 sets of compounds. This is too much. Or at the very least, this is enough. Like, you could go home after this. Your chest is done. But yeah, too much. And you're now warmed up for 3 different compounds, and you had to find a decline. Decline is also a little impractical. A lot of gyms don't even have one with a bench available. Then we move to dumbbell flies for 2 sets. Once again, 10 reps. There's no range here. You just have to do 10. And presumably you have to do 10 for both your sets, which is crazy because presumably you're more fatigued after the first one, unless you really take the first set super easy. Also, your chest is cooked by this point. You've now done 10 sets of compound lifting for the chest, and now you're doing flies as well. So now it's 12 sets for chest. And we're not done, because now we're moving to a dumbbell pullover, which is an odd exercise selection. I think the pullover is a good exercise, but it's mostly a lat and upper back exercise. It does recruit the chest a little bit, and to be fair, you're going to be so cooked after all this chest stuff that you'll probably feel like anything in your chest at this point. I think it's too much for your chest in one day. Then we got tricep extension. Nice, get some triceps going. 4 sets. 10, 8, 8, 6, adding weight. I'm not sure what that means. I wonder if they mean that you add weight per set, but then, so that's why your reps are going down. But then if you're adding weight and presumably you're fatiguing as you go, then surely your reps would go down even more, right? Then tricep dips, it's fine. Tricep dips are a good exercise, although at this point your chest is so cooked, I wonder if you're going to feel these in your triceps at all. 3 sets of 10, so once again, you're going to have to really go easy on the first sets if you want to maintain 10 reps. And then tricep bench dip. This is a fucking I'm sorry to swear, but this is a fucking terrible exercise. The bench dip doesn't do anything, it just hurts your shoulders, it hurts your wrist. This is a bad exercise. The one justification is it might kind of work because at the very end, your triceps are so cooked at this point that maybe you would actually feel this in your triceps. But this day is kind of an example of why body part splits, like the classic bro split, doesn't really work because you have to justify going to the gym just to train one muscle. Or 2 in this case. So what you do is you absolutely obliterate them, but then you kind of left with this thing where you've just done too much in one day. So honestly, for this day, like, maybe I'll do a reworked version of this, but I could just do it here just in my head for you. This day, you could literally walk in, you could do barbell bench, incline bench, tricep extension, and maybe tricep dip, and leave. That's it. That's all you need. This is a big, big day. How many sets is this? Let me just count up for you. It's 10, 12, 14, 16, 19, 22 reps just for chest. It's a lot of reps. Sorry, not just for chest and triceps. So yeah, this day I'm not a fan of. It's like, it's so many sets. So many sets of compounds. Look, I like compounds as much as the next guy, but it's too much. We move to back and biceps. This is kind of a standard day, but once again, it looks like we've got a lot of sets. So we start with deadlift. 5 sets. It's probably too many for a deadlift, to be honest, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's fine. I've done 5 sets for ages. Everyone's done 5 by 5. It's not the end of the world, but it is a lot. Reps, once again, I'm sorry, I have to mention again, we have this real goofy specific reps. It's 10, 8, 8, 6, 4. That's so odd. It's such a specific way to fatigue. 5 sets. Then we have chin-ups for 2 sets. Chin-ups are a good movement. I really like them. 2 sets seems small. I feel like we could do more than 2. But it might be because we're doing so much this day. I see a lot of exercises here. We've got 8 reps on those. Once again, just the rep thing is odd because it means that your first set you're going to have to take really easy to ensure you can get 8 on the second one. Then we've got 1 arm dumbbell row. This is a fantastic exercise. Good exercise selection. And I think it fits in a good place here. We've done a pull from the floor, we've done a vertical pull, and now we're doing a horizontal pull. So I think that's good. Nothing wrong there. Then we've got a seat, and we're doing 3 sets of 8 of that. Once again, we've got the sandbag issue with the reps, but I'll stop mentioning that now. Then we've got a seated row. I'm assuming they mean a cable row here. Good exercise, no problem with that. Bit of extra horizontal pulling. At this point, we kind of should be done for back, but we're going to do a little bit more because we've got a close grip lat pull down. I don't hate this. It's kind of, the way they've structured this is a pull from the floor, 2 vertical pulling exercises, the chin up and this close grip lat pull down, and 2 horizontal pull exercises in terms of a 1 arm dumbbell row and a seated row. So this is actually not terrible, and it's not too many sets. So this is actually looking pretty good. Then we've got standing barbell curl, which I think is for 3 sets. I think this is fine. I just think it's weird to program a barbell curl because most people don't get as much out of barbell curl just because of the grip. You know, it's a tough grip for a lot of people. So I'd like this to be an easy bar curl, but it's fine. And it's a good. This is like a barbell curl, either an easy bar or in this case a straight bar, is like the compound for the bicep. So I don't hate it. Then we go to close grip preacher curl, which is fine. It doesn't say easy bar, but I assume I mean easy bar. I guess you can do straight barbell easy curls, but I'm assuming I mean easy bar. Then we got incline dumbbell curl, it's a good exercise, and then we got concentration curl, which is also a good exercise. I'm just concerned it's too much for biceps because we've now done for 2 sets, I should say. The first 2 are for 3 sets, and then these are for 2. We've now done what's this? 10 sets of biceps in a row. I really wonder if you need those concentration curls. Honestly, I would get rid of those. I really don't think you're getting much out of them by the end. You're 8 sets deep when you start them, and your biceps are probably cooked off the bone. Then we go to a rest day. It says rest day / cardio, but you know that for lifters, if you're not programming cardio, it's not happening. So yeah, just call it a rest day on Wednesday. So we're now on to Thursday. Shoulders and forearms. It's an odd allocation of things to do shoulders and forearms on the same day. It kind of feels like you could do more. Shoulders are not a huge muscle group, and forearms are obviously a small one, and one that you can superset with stuff and just kind of do in between. So it's odd to put them on the same day, but we'll have a look. We start with machine shoulder press, which I kind of hate. I really don't think we should be starting with a machine. You should start with your compounds. Your compounds take the most skill. They take the most, you have to be switched on for them the most. So to start with them seems kind of goofy. But anyway, so we've got 3 sets of 10 on a machine shoulder press. And then we go to dumbbell reverse fly. So I'm assuming that's a bent over dumbbell fly. Once again, this is like an end of a workout thing. You know, you're not going to use much weight. It's very concentrating. It's very light. Why are we doing this to start with? Once again, we've got 3 sets, 8 to 10. So this is our first rep range of the whole day, 8 to 10, and we're doing it for our reverse dumbbell flies. And then we go to military press. This should open the day. So military press is a big compound for the shoulders. You should do that first when you're most switched on, the most locked in, the most ready to produce force. 4 sets of 10. It's probably a good amount of sets and not a bad. I wish it was a rep range, but it's not a bad amount of reps either. 4 sets of 10 for a compound like that. I like it. Then we go to dumbbell lateral raises. I don't mind this. This is good. Lateral raises are an excellent exercise. Only 2 sets though is odd. I feel like by the time you're there, why not do a third? Then we have dumbbell shrugs. Why not? Shrugs are good. Great trap exercise. Interesting to do them with dumbbells. A lot of people, especially because this thing calls itself an advanced program, most people will get stronger. My gym goes up to 40 kilos. I know a lot of American gyms go up to 100 pounds. Most people will get stronger than that for shrugs pretty quickly. So, yeah, that's fine though. Then it's also interesting to me because I feel like you could superset this with some stuff. You could superset the shrugs even with like your military press or whatever. And then we go to upright row, so it's more side delt volume. Yeah, it's a lot of shouldery stuff, but it's fine. And then we go to wrist curls, standing wrist curls, and barbell wrist curls. I wonder what is a barbell wrist curl versus a standing wrist curl? But whatever, yeah, 2 wrist curls. It just feels like this day it's not horrible, but I just feel like you could rework a lot of it, make it a real quick day. I would just get rid of a machine shoulder press, get rid of, and then just get rid of an upright row and do some extra lateral raises, and then just superset your wrist curls with whatever you want, like earlier in the day. And you could turn this whole day into like 30 minutes. And then you could add some abs or some actually useful shit at the end. Once again, this is just a bit of a consequence of you write a body part split, so you have to justify that the person's come into the gym, but then you just obliterate them with volume because they have to come in and the only thing they're allowed to train because it says their shoulders and forearms. And then our final day is legs, which I don't like. I like legs, but the problem is training legs once a week is not enough. Most muscle groups should be trained twice a week, and legs is definitely no exception. So no matter how much you destroy them off the bone, it's not going to be as good as if you just train them twice. This is the problem with these body part splits, is you only train these muscles once a week. So for example, in this program, you're only training your chest once a week. You're only training your legs once a week. You're only training your shoulders once a week, which is not enough. But each time you train them, you're destroying them. So you're doing a lot of extra volume that's not helping you and just destroying yourself. Okay, but let's have a look at the leg day. We've got 5 sets of squats, which honestly I don't hate. Squats are an excellent movement. Why not do a lot of them? You're warmed up. Once again, we've got the goofy rep selection, but whatever. Then 3 sets of leg extension. I don't hate that. It's fine. And then we've got 3 sets of leg curl, both for sets of 12, which is a decent rep range. Maybe I'd like to see it be a tiny bit higher rep range just for these isolation movements, but it's okay. Then we do calves, which is just, it's a lot of sets of calves, Jesus. 4 sets of standing, 2 sets of seated, which I don't hate, that's fine. But we haven't got a pull, like we haven't got I'd like to see my ad block popped up here. I would like to see like a Romanian deadlift or something for hamstrings. This feels like a very light leg day. It's just a squat, leg extension, leg curl, calves, leave. But you know what? This is probably the best day. This actually looks pretty close to something I might do for a leg day. You come in, you hit a good few sets of squat as your main movement, you hit a bit of accessories, and you leave. It's not terrible. And look, I don't even, like 6 sets of calves is not bad. But once again, you can't train calves only once a week if you want them to grow. You've got to train them more often. So this is just, the leg day is a good leg day, but it's just a consequence of the split, you know, where you're only training legs once a week. But yeah, so as you can see, program will be in the description, of course, but yeah, this is not good. But a lot of the days just need to be cut down a lot and reworked. But honestly, I wouldn't even bother reworking this. I'd rather just write my own program because anything you do is just going to suffer from the fact that it's in this format of body part split. Body part splits don't work. Bro splits, they've been around for ages and they just don't work. And you can kind of see here why. Because each day is just so much and a bunch of extra junk volume on the end that you don't need. Rather do push-pull legs and upper lower, something like that, and really structure your training better so you don't have to destroy yourself every time you're at the gym. You just hit each muscle as much as you need, and then you can train each muscle more times per week. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. And yeah, hopefully see you in the next video.